before we get into Chapter 5, we're actually going to play a little game, and then I'll refer to the game as I'm trying to describe different concepts in Chapter 5. Okay, so this game is we call the wink game. Okay, when I do this in class, I actually give the class a cup that has 2 chips in them. One chip has a dot on it, and the other has a dash on it. Okay, so what they do is they draw one chip from the bag, record the symbol, place it back in the cup, and then now draw another chip, because there's only the 2 chips in there, record its symbol, and then that chip is also played back. So each time each chip is equally likely to be drawn each time they draw a chip. Okay, I'm gonna have to modify it for you, so you can just find a coin, and your heads will represent the dot, and the tails are going to represent a dash. So what you're going to do is you're going to flip the coin, record whether it's a dot or a dash, or a heads or tails, flip the coin again. Okay, and then the second, you're going to record it again the second time, and then well, you don't need to replace the chip back in the cup because you don't have a cup. Okay, so you have the same idea, you're just going to do this with a coin instead of with our cup. Okay, just remember, I'm going to have the heads be the dot, and the tails is going to be a dash. And again, for each flip, it should be equally likely whether you get a dot or a dash. Okay, so then we can say it's a wink if the 2 symbols are different. So if you can kind of picture what a wink would look like, right? A dash and a dot in terms of your eyes. Okay, a blink if they're both dashes, because you'd have both eyes closed, and a stare if they're both dots, because you'd have both of them open. Okay, just to help you kind of make a connection between the words I'm using. Okay, so first question I have for you, if the game's played many times, which will be more likely to happen? Okay, so are each of the 3 outcomes equally likely? Or they're both occur, all 3 occur about the same number of times? Is the wink more likely to occur, a blink more likely to occur, or is the stare more likely to occur? So you can actually pause the video right now and think about what how you would answer this question. And we'll talk about it later after you've already done the experiment and stuff. Okay, so now we're ready to play the game. Okay, so what I want you to do is you're going to do this, play it about 15 times. You can play it more because, like I said, normally when I do this in class, I have a lot more students, so that we'd have more than just the 15 results. We'd have 15 results for about 30 students. Okay, so what you're going to do the same thing where I have first chip and second chip. Yours is just the first toss and the second toss of your coin. Okay, so do it about 15 times, and then also when you get all done, actually count how many wink, blinks, and stares you have. Okay, so again, do it at least 15 times, and it might be better if you do it even more than that. Okay, so pause, go ahead and pause the video and go ahead and flip your coin and fill in the tables. Okay, now that you've finished playing, okay, now look, if you just look at your results, which happened more likely? Did you get a wink more often, a blink more often, a stare more often, or were they all really about the same number of times? Okay, and what should have happened is you actually should have had the wink more often, because the wink you can actually get, there's 4 different possible outcomes, right? You could have the 2 dashes, the 2 dots, that's your blink and your stare, but the wink could be a dash and a dot, or a tail head, or it could have been a head tail. So there's 2 different ways out of the 4 possible outcomes. So that's actually why a wink will be more often to occur. But we'll talk about more about the different types of probability. So what you did actually was a simulation, which would be an empirical probability, and what I just explained to you is theoretical probability. And we'll talk about that as we go through Chapter 5. Again, I'll refer back to this game frequently as I go through trying to explain concepts to you. Okay? So I will see you in the next video.